Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be recreating this bodycon corset dress you see right here on your screen. So it has straps fixed to it as well, and we used a bra cup in recreating this dress, which was covered up with our fabric at the end of the day. So if it sounds like something you're interested in learning how to do, please continue watching. Let's get started. To recreate this outfit, you need your bra cup. So I'm on a bust size of 38 inches, so I had to get a bra cup of 40 inches because I want my boobs properly covered. So I have this, my elastic, which will be fixed to the back part of our dress. So I have this baby pink or this light pink fabric, which is lycra. So it doesn't stretch at both sides, it stretches on just one part, and that part that stretches most will be on fold. So when I say this fabric is very stretchy, please know that it's very stretchy. All right, so here now are my ruler, my pencil, and my marker. So what I will go ahead to do now is to start drafting. So with my ruler, I'm going to draw a line at the top part of my paper. That will be my starting line and also my shoulder line. So because this is an off shoulder, I'll be subtracting 1 inch from my normal shoulder measurement. So my normal shoulder is 7 inches, but I had to subtract 1 inch because this is an off shoulder. So I marked 6 inches as my shoulder on my shoulder line, or that first line at the top part of my paper, and from that my shoulder I came down by 8 inches, which is for my armhole. So this line I'm drawing now is my chest line. So placing my tape at that first line, which is my shoulder line, I got my bust point of 10 inches, my under bust of 14 inches, my half length of 16 inches. So I counted 8 inches down to get my hip line. Then the full length of my paper is 35 inches, and that will be the length of my gown. So all these dots I have, I'll connect them into a straight line. When I'm done connecting them into a straight line, I'll go ahead and label all the lines.
You look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time.
So I hope you can see everything I've done here so far. So the next I'm going to do is actually to divide my bust circumference by 4, and whatever I get as the answer, I will mark it right there on my chest line, which is that line right there. So after that, now move to my under bust. I'll get my under bust circumference of 30 inches divided by 4. So whatever I have, I'm going to mark it on that line labeled under bust. So on my half length, I'll divide my half length into 4, my half length circumference actually into 4. Then I will now mark whatever it is I have right there. So I'll connect all of these points I've made so far together. So on my hip line, I'm going to divide my hip circumference, that is your round hip, okay, circumference, the round hip. So I divide it by 4, and I'm going to mark my exact measurement on this. So I actually forgot to do something right here. Remember I told you all I'm working with a lycra fabric, which is very stretchy, and this type of fabric we normally don't add allowance to it. So because my own is extremely stretchy, I had to go ahead to subtract extra half an inch from my actual measurement. So that was what I was supposed to do while inputting this my measurement. So when I got to this point, that was when I realized. So I subtracted half of an inch from my actual measurement. Okay, so I cancelled out that first line of measurement I had. Okay, so now I connected from my half length to my hip line right there. So I measured out what I had on my hip line. So I subtracted 1.5 from that, and I'm going to mark it as my full length. Okay, so I'm going to mark it on my full gown length this way, and I connected from my hip up to my full gown length. So this is what I want to have. So from my bust point line, from the center front of my paper, I marked half of an inch inward this way. So I made that point right there, and I'll extend it up to my under bust line. So now I get this my bra cup, and I'm going to make sure that I place it on my under bust line. So if you place your bra cup on a flat surface, the part that doesn't really touches the flat surface is the upper part. Okay, so the part that rests on the flat surface is the lower part of your bra cup, in case you're not familiar with this. So I'm going to place my bra cup exactly on my under bust line, and making sure that the other side or tip of this my bra cup touches that half of an inch I marked inward from my center front. So you are going to carefully trace this out. So mine is a bit faster because I actually increase the speed, so that's why it's looking very faster. But I actually took my time to go about the drawing of this my bra cup. All right, so when I was done using my pencil to trace my bra cup out exactly the way it is, I went ahead to use my marker to highlight it. So I also went ahead to fit in my bra cup to ensure that it aligns properly, and you can see right here what we have. So at both sides of that my bra cup, I now extended it. Okay, so after that, now I'm going to measure what I have from my shoulder up to the point where my bra cup stopped. So I have 10 inches. So this is going to serve as a guide while cutting out our straps, just in case you want to fix a strap to your own. Okay, so after that, now I just went ahead to cut out from my bust point line straight, because I want to use the same fabric to cut out for the back part of my gown. All right, so that was why I have not cut out the cup area yet. So having cut this out, now I'll go ahead and get my fabric and fold this into two and place my pattern paper on top of it. So I'll go ahead and pin this my drafted piece on my fabric. So the stretchy part of my fabric is on fold. All right, so it will be on the sides. So after pinning, now I'll go ahead and cut exactly what I have right here. But the only thing is that at the top part I'll add 1 inch, and at the lower part I'll also add 1 inch. So the 1 inch for the lower part is for our hemming allowance, which we not add while we are drafting. Okay, so having cut this out, now remove the pins. I'll go ahead and fold my fabric. I'll go ahead now and cut out the cup area of this my dress. As you can see, I've done right there. So I folded my fabric again into two, and I'm going to place this right now on it. I'll go ahead now and pin. So I'll pin all the sides properly. Then after pinning, I'll go ahead and cut. But while cutting, I'm going to add stitching or joining allowance at the top part and at the hem or base. Then I'll also add stitching allowance around the cup area. So the stitching allowance I'll add around the cup area is 1/2 inch. For the top part, I added 1 inch. For the cup area, is going to be 1/2 inch, as you can see right here. So I also measure this out with my tape so that you all see that it's 1/2 inch I have all around here. Okay, so that top part is 1 inch. All right, so after this, now I'm going ahead now to keep this aside, because I want to cut out the cover for our bra cup. So this fabric now I have folded into two. I'm going to measure out for the wideness, I'm going to measure out, I think 11 inches. Then for the length, I measured out 10 inches. Okay, I did 10 inches for the length and the width. So I'll go ahead now and cut this out this way. So after that, I'll separate this piece. So I'm meant to have 4 pieces of this. So I have 2 right now, so I'm going to cut out again to have 4 pieces. Okay, so right now I have 4 pieces of this. So I'm going to work on one to show you all what to do. So I'll bring one piece of this I have, I'll fold it into 2. So remember, I'm folding the stretchy part. Okay, so I'm going to get the middle of this piece I have right here, that is at that closed end. All right, that part I folded in from. So I got the middle of it. So at the both sides of this my fabric, I'm going to mark 1 inch upward. So having done this, now I'm going to connect this 1 inch to the middle of this piece I have right here, using this my curve rule. Just this way I'm doing it right here, so you can see. Go ahead and connect your 1 inch to the middle point of this piece you have. So like I said, just know that I am connecting this piece at the middle, okay, on the fold I have. So just stitch exactly the same way I've shown you right here. So having done that, now I'm going to work on my bra cups. So this is the right side of my bra cup. I'm going to flip it now to the wrong side, which is this. I'll fold this my bra cup into 2 so that I can get the middle. So this part now I notch is the upper part of my bra cup. All right, so now having made this notch to indicate the middle point, I'll mark down 2 inches okay, just this way. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect that notch in a straight line to that 2 inches which I have right there. So right now you can see what I have. So on both sides on this line I have, I'm going to come out by 1/4 of an inch. I don't really know what you call it. I think 0.25, but I call my 1/4 of an inch right at both sides. So this is like me trying to create a dart and achieve 1/2 of an inch when I'm done creating this my dart. So at both sides, if you come out by 1/4 of an inch, altogether you'll be having 1/2 of an inch, right? So I don't really know what you call yours. So go ahead now and cut it out following the exact way it's formed. So at this point, if you have a zigzag stitch, you can go ahead and use a zigzag stitch to actually join this cup together. But if you don't, so you go ahead now and do this the same way I'm doing mine. So fix your thread to your needle and go ahead to stitch this together. So please, while stitching this, don't place one of your cups on top of the other. Just, it's more like your thread will be connecting these 2 cups now, right? So don't place one cup on top of the other. So just go about it the same way I'm doing it right here. I believe it's very clear, as you can see right here. So just join it together, just as I'm doing, and your thread will do the rest of the work for you. All right, so just join this all the way to the top part, and when I'm done, I'll do it for the other part of my cup as well.
So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good.
So you can see what I have right now. So you can see that there is more room now on this my bra cups compared to the other one. All right, so this is what yours should also look like. Go ahead and cut off your excess needle and now tie it. So if you watch right here, you see that I tied mine up to 3 times. Okay, so this is to secure this very well. Okay, so that is it. Now I'll repeat the same thing for the other bra cup I have. So when I do this, I'll come back and show you all what I've achieved so far. And this is what I have when I was done. So I've done it for the 2 bra cups I have. So for this fabric which I'll be using to cover up my bra cups, after stitching that 1 inch, go ahead and cut off the excesses and iron your seam open. I just believe you are familiar with that. Okay, so iron your seam open and flat, just as I did my right here for the 4 pieces. So now I'll be covering my bra cups. So to cover this your bra cups, you're going to get this fabric. So when you join this fabric, you're going to realize that on the middle point is kind of puffy, right? So that puffy part on your fabric should align with the pointy part on your bra cup. So while doing this, automatically you are going to just see it. All right, you just know, you notice, even if you're a beginner. Okay, so just make sure that they align, and the seam you iron open, make sure is in line with the darts on your bra cup, like the joints you have on your bra cup. Okay, so because that would be your guide for the center line of your bra cup. So if you go ahead and achieve that, go ahead now and pin your bra cup to your fabric all around, just the same way I'm doing right here. So you all can see what I'm doing is very clear. Go ahead and pin it all around. So I actually took my time to do this. Ensure there are no folds, ensure that everything is straightened out, just the same way I'm trying to achieve mine right here. Okay, so take all the time you need and do this. So when you are done pinning, you're actually going to flip this now to the wrong side, because that is the part you're going to stitch all around. So on your bra cup, you realize there is this extra allowance at the side. It's not to 1/2 of an inch, so that's the part I made you stitch your fabric to your bra cup all around. So now I've gone ahead to do this for the both cups. So for one cup I have cut it out. For this other cup now, I went ahead now to cut it out right here on the camera, so you can see what we have so far. So this is it. Okay, the next is to use another fabric to cover up this, which will be serving as a lining piece. So you're going to place the right side of your bra cup and the right side of this fabric together on that same puffy part. All right, so when you now pin it right side, flip it to the wrong part and now stitch this top part. As you can see, I'm showing you right here. So I've gone ahead now to stitch. This is what I have. So cut off that excess which you have after stitching at the top part, which I'm doing right now. So after that, now you're going to go ahead to top stitch. So this top stitch you're going to do will be on top of your bra cup. This is to hide the lining piece. Okay, so flip that extra allowance there on top of your bra cup and stitch. So by the time you stitch, it's going to be, your lining piece is going to be inside to not be tacky and be showing at the right side. Okay, so this is what I have after stitching. You can see what I have. So if you want to iron this out, make sure you use your tailor's ham to iron this out. So I didn't iron this out because this fabric is a lycra fabric. All right, so it needs to be handled with proper care. If not, I will have this material spoiled. All right, so now I'm going to arrange this piece of lining I have inside my cup. So make sure that there is room for your boobs to sit properly. You are not going to stretch out this line, just make sure that is a little bit of excess inside, okay, so that your boobs can actually sit properly. I stitch all around, or you can use your hemming gum. So here is the right side, or the front, sorry, here is the front part of my gown. So on that middle part, I'm going to stitch using 1/2 inch, and at both sides on this my gown, I'll also stitch this inside like this using just 1/2 inch. All right, so having done this, now I just went ahead to place my cup and it's still in place. So when you fold, go ahead and stitch this down. All right, so I've gone ahead now to stitch around my cup with my lining, and I fix one part of my cup to one part of my cup area on my gown. So you can see what I have. So by the time you do all of this, after folding in both the center and everything on your fabric, if you are pinning your cup on your cup area, if you're pinning your bra cup to your cup area, it's going to align. So that is how you know that you're actually working with the right measurement. So it will align. So I went ahead now to pin my cup all around this my bra cup area. All right, please just pardon the way I'm going about this, but I think it's the best way for me to explain this. Okay, so pin it all around, and you can see that mine aligned properly, meaning that I'm working with a very right measurement. So this is the right side. So after stitching that down, so you're going to stitch on that same allowance on your bra cup. You're just going to see it yourself. Okay, so you can see what it looks like right now. I'll go ahead now to work for the back part of our gown. So at that top part where I left 1 inch for the back part, I went ahead to create a channel so that my elastic can pass through. I'm not fixing any zipper to this dress because it's a lycra fabric and it's very stretchy. So I pinned my elastic with my safety pin. So I passed it through that channel. I secured it at one end using my pin. So I'll stretch this to ensure that it comfortably fits and is not too tight. Then I'll go ahead and cut off and pin. I pinned first before cutting off so that it doesn't slip off. All right, so after doing that, now this is what I have. I'm going to go ahead now to join this at the both sides. So if your fabric is not stretchy, please go ahead and add your stitching allowance. If your fabric is slightly stretchy, you can just add 1/2 inch stitching allowance. If your fabric is really stretchy, go ahead and maintain your actual body size, no stitching allowance. Okay, but if it is very stretchy, just like mine, you feel free to reduce just 1/2 inch from your actual measurement. So me, sometimes I even reduce 1 inch depending on the texture of that fabric and how it stretches. Okay, so after pinning the sides, I'm going to join from the top to the base using just 1/2 inch, and you can see I'm making the mark right here. So you can see what I've done so far. So do it for the both sides. So after that, now this is what I have. So this is what yours should also look like. So I've cut out this long rope for my strap. Remember, we measure from our shoulder up to our bust point part, and it was 10 inches. So go ahead and just subtract 1 inch from that 10 inches, so I have 9 inches. All right, so if you mark 9 inch, I marked 9 inches, which is on fold, but if you spread it out, is 18 inches plus 1 inch, because I'll be stitching with half of an inch in front and also at the back. So on that line where we joined our cup, that's for our fabric, that's going to serve as a guide to fix your strap. Okay, so go ahead and pin it right there, or you can actually mark 5 inches from your center front of your dress. Okay, but I just use that joints I have on my cup area as my guide. All right, so I went ahead now to pin this, and I'm also going to repeat the same thing for the back. So if for the back, if you don't know how to go about it, from the armhole just mark 5 inches or 5.5, yeah, 5.5 inches inward, and now pin. But because I'm used to this, I didn't really go ahead to mark all of this. So fix this for the both sides, and you're going to achieve a very neat finishing and outcome. And that will be all for today's tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate. If you've come this far and you're yet to subscribe, please kindly do so. It's never going to be a thing of regret. Till some other time, I'll see you all in my next one. Have a lovely time ahead of you. Bye.